make a second decision, a clear-headed decision to do whatever it takes. And as recovering addicts, we got to make that decision every day, because this is a one day at a time situation. It's like the things that God bless us with works against us, because it says in the big book by Alcoholics Anonymous, your loved one's supposed to have all this stuff memorized. I ought to put them on the spot and ask them to quote this stuff that I'm quoting, because Dan Lenz and Andre know all this stuff by heart too. But on page 24 it says, "There will come a time in my recovery that I can't bring back with sufficient force the pain and the suffering and the humiliation, or even a week or a month ago." Then it says, "I'm out mental defense against the first drink." So guess what? You would think that after all of this they done went through, that there would be enough. It's going to come a time that they can't bring back that pain into their conscience. You remember, because you'll say, "Don't you remember you were just crying last week?" And there'll come a time they can't bring none of that back. It's like we suffer from temporary amnesia, because we can't bring it back. We don't remember that. What I remember is now I'm doing good. And now that I'm doing good, I don't need to do all of this stuff. You know, I don't want to go to no more meetings. I don't need to call nobody. I'm all right. Because things make me forget. If I get my woman back, I'm all right. If I get a car, I'm all right. If I get a job, I'm all right. And that transition of learning how to work the program with stuff is hard. Because guess what? Let's just go back for a minute, family members. Every time your loved one start doing good, they forget, don't they? And they stop doing it. You can't tell them nothing no more. When they're down on their behind pots, they humble. As soon as they get some stuff, you can't tell them nothing. They have to learn how to be humble and be compliant when they have some stuff. That's what we're trying to teach them. Or they will lose that stuff and have to start over all over again. And so he had to hit bottom. Bottom is not the situation that they came here in. Bottom is when I become willing to do whatever it takes. We got it? That's bottom. And we have to do that one day at a time for the rest of our lives. Because the better I do, that means to me, in my insane thinking, that it's over. This is a disease. And in church, we don't want to believe that. This is one of the only diseases that in church, we don't want to acknowledge. Us good Christian people, we don't want to acknowledge that this is a disease. We don't tell a person with cancer that they don't have cancer. We say, he's sick, let's pray, let's go to the doctor, take your medicine, let's go to chemo, and God is going to work it out. But if a person has the disease of addiction, he's weak, and he ain't got no faith. Ain't that what we say? He's just a weak man. You ought to be able to set your mind and quit. Or we'll tell them, you must don't love me. Ain't that what we say? Daddy, you must don't love me. Because if you love me, you'll stop. Right? That's not true. We do love. We just suffer from a disease. It's a disease that has no known cure. But we can learn to live with it if we practice these principles in all our affairs. I came through this program. I've been clean 21 years. I have not used in 21 years. There is a way out. But I still suffer from this disease. I still want to use every day. I have to fight every day to stay clean. And it's okay. God has provided me a way out. But I still suffer from this thing that makes me forget. Makes me still want to use. And I have to do these things. I still have to work the program. I still have to talk to people. I still have to fellowship with people like me. And the issue is, we count it as robbery, Steve, We don't think that we should have to do this. We just want it to go away. This thing ain't going away. It's just not. Luke 15 and 20. And he rose and came to his father. But when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. The father received him. You remember last week we talked about those questions, and we asked some hard questions like, when your loved one come back, should it be a party? How long does it take before you have respect for them? And how long is it before you trust them? Y'all remember those questions? And we had debates about that, and those were kind of difficult. But as soon as the father seen him, the father arose and met him and received him. That's difficult because family members by this time has a lot of distrust, have a lot of resentment, and if it wasn't for love, y'all stop fooling with us. And when you get that sincere effort, you have to learn how to receive them and learn what that means. Do that mean if you're a wife that you give them the keys to your car? No, it don't mean that. Do it mean you let them come move in with you and give them your bank account number? No, it don't mean that. Please don't do that. But you got to receive them where they are. And that's difficult. You got to learn what that means. And for each family, it's different. And each family dynamic is different. It's different for what a mother would do than what a daughter would do in receiving. It's just different. It's different in what a wife does. Y'all remember the first week we talked about the man being the head of the household, and one of the ladies was saying, yeah, he's the head of the household. I said, well, do he get a chance to make any decisions in your house? She said, no, he ain't making no decisions. I said, well, I thought you said he was the head of the household. So that's difficult to have an addict to come in your house, and now he's the head of the household. How do you receive him as the head of the household? And as a daughter, normally the dynamics have changed. Addicts become a childlike state, and the kids take the parental role. And so that's hard, because it's been a long time since he's been dad. You kind of like the parent. And so how do you respect him as dad, at the same time have the parental role? Because as soon as he leaves, he want to come back into your life with all the authority that he had when you were 15. All of it. And how do you navigate that with all of the pain and disappointment and failure to allow him to be dad in whatever that means in a relationship? How do you receive that when he's saying, do this? And you like, what? Because our mind shuts down. We stop recovering, and we want to go back to whatever state we were when we started using. Whatever age you were when you started using, he wants to go back before that and have that role. And family members be like, what? Really? No. You can't tell me nothing. Because we still he probably still see you with pigtails. So he want to, I'm dad. I'm like, dude, it's been 30 years. Same way with the mother and son relationship. It's just difficult in how we receive them. Luke 15 and 28, it says, and he was angry and would not let go. Therefore came his father out. I wrote that wrong. And interacted with him. But where it's going with the other brother is when that son came home, the the Bible says that they threw a party. The father gave him his coat, gave him a ring, told him to kill the best of what they had, and he threw a party. Remember, at the beginning of this, the Bible says that their son asked for his inheritance. And so that meant that he got half of what the brother had already gotten. So the point is, the other brother was mad. The other brother was mad. And the issue is, everybody is not going to be happy when we get clean. And that's hard for us to accept as the recovering person, because we want a party. Y'all remember we talked about that last week? You know, when we get clean, we want a parade with a band and cheerleaders and a drum major. It should be something big. And family members say, you're only doing what you should have been doing all along. And a lot of times, the dynamic in the relationship, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? And so when it's like that, it's a mother and a son and a daughter, sometimes it can seem like the one that ain't doing nothing gets all the attention and all of the praise. Oh, he's doing so well. And you be like, please, I've been doing well all along. So why is he getting, we not going to throw no parade for him. What about me? And a lot of times we see that because that's what happened with that brother. That brother didn't receive it. And so we looked at, how do we handle family members who are not good for our recovery, and what does that look like? What does it look like? We talked about, do we not drink when we go around, when our loved ones come around? You know, and sometimes that seems unfair because, you know, why do I got to stop drinking? We talked about that if the loved one, especially when guys are dating, and we meet a woman and she's drinking and we're early in our recovery, it's hard for a man to say, if she asks, do my drinking bother you? We're going to say no. Because I'm a man and I don't want to say, no, that bothers me. And family member will ask, you know, do me having a beer bother you? No. But in reality, y'all, it does. It does. That don't mean you got to stop. But it does. You can't drink in my house. I don't have no drinking in my house. You can't drink in my car, none of that. Now, that don't mean I can go over your house and dictate that, but I just don't go around, and I'm 21 years clean, I just don't put myself in a lot of environments where people are doing things that's not conducive to my recovery. I'm very protective of my little sobriety. The guys laugh at me. I don't even drive to South Dallas by myself. There's a couple of places I like to eat over there. I love Elaine's. They had a mocktail, but I don't go there by myself. I like blackjack pizza. I don't go by myself. I'm just not going to go over there. Now, I probably could go over there by myself. I just don't take those chances with my sobriety. I just don't. Maybe that's why I got 21 years and the person you set aside got a few months. Because they do all of those things. You know, Rodney can go anywhere in the world he want to go. I just don't. You ask him, can you go to Blackjack Pizza? Sure, I can go. But he got 2 months. I got 21 years. He'll go to places that I won't go. Because I don't jeopardize my recovery. Y'all get the point? And so I made sure that the woman I was dating didn't drink. Because I didn't want to be in a relationship with somebody who drank. Because I didn't want to have to be going home and opening an icebox and there's wine in there. Because one of them nights I'll probably drink some of it. Then I'll be crying. And so I just don't take those chances. Make sense? how do